An unusual number of February tornadoes hit Oklahoma this morning and last night, ripping off roofs, downing power lines, and killing 8 people. Emergency responders searched all night in the hardest-hit town of Lone Grove, where the 8 people died. Rescuers found 1 woman injured but alive under an overturned mobile home. They eventually suspended efforts in the area until daybreak because of numerous power lines that were down. Structures have been damaged or destroyed throughout the town of about 4,600, which is located about 100 miles south of Oklahoma City. As our picture showed, a tornado also struck Oklahoma City, where homes and businesses were damaged. A tornado was also reported in north central Oklahoma, and watches were issued for Mississippi, north central Louisiana, southeast Arkansas, and parts of Missouri and Tennessee today. In the United Kingdom, over Wales, in the skies above Wales, apparently 2 light planes collided this morning. It's not yet clear if there are any casualties. The New South Wales Fire and Rescue Service spokesman say the planes crashed above the Kenfig Reserve near the seaside resort town of Porthcawl. The Welsh Ambulance Service says that it's dealing with a, quote, major incident that's thought to involve an air collision. The British Ministry of Defense says it's investigating an aircraft incident but could not say if it involved military aircraft. Apparently, from what we've seen, it was 2 light RAF training aircraft that collided. We don't have a figure on casualties. We do have a figure on casualties in Kabul, Afghanistan this morning. Taliban militants attacked 3 government buildings in the capital with suicide bombs and gunfire this morning. They killed at least 19 people. The Afghan army was called out. Ambulances were heard rushing people to the hospital. A Taliban spokesman said in a phone call to journalists that 16 suicide attackers had entered the city and carried out a wave of strikes. Afghan government officials said that at least 7 militants were also killed after they launched near-simultaneous attacks on the ministries of justice and education. Tomorrow, the U.S. Special Envoy Richard Holbrooke is scheduled to arrive in Kabul. From Dubai, the port operator Dubai World says that authorities have begun investigating the cause of the fiery tanker accident we reported on yesterday. DP World spokespeople said the tanker and container ship that struck it are safely anchored as owners decide what steps to take next. Oil booms have been set up around the damaged tanker. No spill has been reported. The ships are being checked for damage. Authorities are investigating the cause of the accident. The tanker operator, Martinoli Consulting, says the vessel was carrying 30,000 tons of condensate, a type of hydrocarbon liquid typically found in natural gas wells. Chinese exports plunged by a massive 17.5% last month, the biggest year-on-year decline in more than a decade. The data released this morning by China showed a 3rd consecutive month of declines after years of double-digit increases. The numbers are terrible, the environment is awful, said a Citigroup economist. The pressure on employment will be huge. China's imports also slowed dramatically in January, falling 43% over a year earlier. Up to a half of China's $1 trillion in annual imports involve materials used in goods that are then re-exported. Also in China, a 3rd Air Force freighter plane will try to cause rain during the coming week in China's drought-stricken Hubei province. Hubei Weather Modification Office Chief Engineer Zhu Yanghe, speaking from Wuhan, where he was equipping the AN-26 freighter plane with rain-enhancing equipment, said that the plane will take off later today. Mr. Hu said the equipment included cloud seeding gear and a GPS system, adding that officials plan to shower an area between the 12th and 14th and another one between the 15th and 17th. China is experiencing its worst drought in 5 decades, affecting about 9 million hectares of wheat and leaving about 3.5 million people with little access to drinking water. The Chinese are expecting it to begin to rain on the 16th of February for 2 days. This we will watch closely. This could be big news and a big development. If this works, there's going to be real estate in the Sahara and all over Death Valley and all over places in the world that are arid and untenable for cultivation. So hopefully the Chinese are onto something. Hopefully they can do a better job of it than their fireworks displays. That's an unfair cut because the Olympics were actually quite good. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.